Hello, and welcome to the night. Look, I was having some technical difficulties, so now I'm on. Ready to rock and roll a little bit, so I hope everybody is doing well. And today we're gonna have Brother Travis on the phone tonight, and I just want him to be able to talk about his past experience of I think that was last weekend that he was here in San Diego. He came down for his participation in degree work. And what I like to do is get people to come in and participate and actually give their own opinion about what they went through in the degree work, without really going to a lot of detailed stuff, but give their own personal heartfelt feelings. Tonight we have Brother Travis, and now he can come on and introduce himself. Go ahead, Brother Travis.
Greetings, everybody. This is Brother Travis. Traveling since 2015. I started when I was in college. I went to Grambling State University out of Grand Lodge, out of Georgia. That's when one summer I came home and I got initiated through a Grand Lodge out in Atlanta, Georgia, called Jeff Long. I then went back to school, obviously, and after I graduated, the brothers that I was a part of moved to another jurisdiction called Most Worshipful James Bergson Grand Lodge, based out of Atlanta, Georgia. And recently I moved to Seattle for work, and I figured that, I want to continue my travels and, contacted Brother Hawkins, and he was like, we'd love to have you part of our jurisdiction, and, we'll get you initiated under us, and then we'll, get you your degrees that you are seeking. So, moral of the story is I've been through a lot of initiations over my past years, and I've seen a lot of initiations, and coming to this jurisdiction that I'm currently in now with Brother Hawkins, the initiation was totally different, and it was really eye-opening to how different each jurisdiction does initiations, right? So that's kind of my spiel of my introduction. We'll go from there.
All right. Well, you know what? I want to say good evening, good evening to most of those who are coming on. I know it's late on the East Coast. It's still pretty early here on the West Coast. But I'm going to say this. Now, when I was speaking with Brother Travis over the phone for about the past year or so in regards to him re-obligating him into this particular jurisdiction. When I say re-obligating, that just simply says that he's now leaving one Masonic jurisdiction, coming over to this one. So he's obligating his Masonic oath into this jurisdiction. We don't call it a reheal. You can't reheal anybody, but you can re-obligate them to the jurisdiction for which they are becoming a part of. Now, with that being said, I had told Brother Travis, I said, look, man, we don't put hands on nobody. We don't touch nobody. We don't kick, stomp, move, tussle. We don't do any of that. And he was like telling me, oh, man, how y'all gonna do that? I've been to this, I pledged, I've done this. How you gonna be able to do that without effectively doing your initial? I said, bro, we don't do that. I was like, we don't, but I guarantee you, you will experience an initiation that you haven't experienced before. I guarantee you that.
And, just to piggyback off that a little bit, mind you, I've been through two different jurisdictions previously, and those initiations were what you would imagine if you've been through an initiation. And I came to this jurisdiction, and the initiations were just totally different. And it was, in some ways, actually harder to get through these initiations than my previous jurisdictions. And yeah, they didn't put hands, feet, stone me, or anything like that when I was going through these degrees that I got. And another tidbit is everything was quiet. It wasn't like, people yelling and all the other craziness that you might think you have to go through. It was really quiet, and so you degree, or house or what have you, we fellowship, and that was really cool. It didn't matter if it was a Wednesday, a Thursday, Friday. After the degree work was done, the brothers came together, turned on some music, we fellowship, we talked about it, they asked me questions. It was just a different experience. So I thought that was pretty cool. That was really memorable for me. So
I'm going to say this though. I had to talk him off the ledge a couple of times because he couldn't believe what was taking place. It was like, are you serious? Am I going to really have to go through this? Is this actually taking place? What are they doing to me, Brother Hawkins? What is this chant thing? What is this incense? What is this happening around me, man? Is this some type of... I was like, no, bro, this is not what you think. In the end, we'll share everything with you, but it's not. Oh no, man, no, Brother Hawkins, you got to tell me now before I go anywhere. I'm not putting on no block. I'm not doing none of it. I said, bro, look.
Oh man.
I said, look, man. I said, everything I've told you so far has been true. I have not lied to you about anything. I would not put you in any harm's way. None whatsoever. But after that first degree night of the Knights Templar, he was like, I'm done. I'm leaving. You guys are on some other stuff. I'm not. I'm not.
I was, the Knights Templar degree was really interesting. Yeah. It was just different. I never experienced anything like that in anything I've been through, not the Royal Art, not the Blue House. When I came to the Knights Templar degree in this jurisdiction, it was totally different. There's no other way I can explain it than just that. It was totally different.
Well, see, what we wanted to do and what we did, we had to kind of improvise because you wasn't ready to go the extra mile. So we was like, you know what? I'm serious though. We had to improvise because there was a part, where some other stuff should have took place. It was like, we can't, nah. No, because to be honest with you, if you are a Knights Templar, you know what happened to Jacques Desmoulins. Okay? If you read the story of the Knights Templars and the whole process, you know what happened to Jacques, right? And I would tell you, in this jurisdiction, it happens to you.
Absolutely. Yeah, you gotta, and that's what I will say. This jurisdiction, you are going to go through the degree. And that's all I can say. You're going to go through it. I mean, that's just what it is. And, improvise or not, you're going to understand what took place regardless, right? Yeah. Tony had to speak to me several times. Like, hey man, look, everything's cool. Because think about it, I came from two different jurisdictions and it was not like this. It was totally different. And I had to adjust. I'm expecting what I'm used to when I'm going through initiation. Okay, blase, cool. I came to California and it was not like that. And it literally, I was not prepared.
So what we try to do is to actually teach the degree work. Like, say, for instance, okay, so you're going through your Lodge of Perfection, that 14th degree. We want to explain to you what that degree means. Just like if you was going through your 4th degree, we want to explain to you what that degree means. So in the 4th degree on the Scottish Rite side, it is called the Master Traveler degree. Okay, here's where you're introduced to the Scottish Rite for the first time, right? In that particular degree, you're introduced to the Scottish Rite. Oh shucks, I lost what I was looking at. You're introduced to the Scottish Rite for the first time. This degree provides a preview of what we call modern truth. We should witness our journey through the Scottish Rite. That's what that degree teaches. But what happens a lot of times when brothers go up to these various degrees, they don't get a lot of the needed information to understand the degree work that they just went through. So you get a lot of I don't want to say noise, but you miss a lot because you don't get what this degree means. So you're a large perfection. What does that degree mean? What does it teach you? How do you open and close the delta? What's in the delta? You know, why is the name, why you can't pronounce the name? And we try to, at the end of the degree work, to actually break it down and explain to you, this is what you did. Now, I can't give you all the little tidbit, but we do some things that may be like, well, wait a minute. And this is where you have to go back and read. Am I right or wrong, Brother Travis?
Absolutely. Yeah. Going through those initiations, you're going to go back and read the thing so you can understand what took place. I will say this. You don't get that in any other jurisdiction. You just get your degree, whatever happens to you, and then you go back and, you read it. But over here, when you're going through the degree, it's kind of like, okay, I have to go back and read what just took place. All right? Because you just have to, okay? Without saying, you have to go back and read what happened. Because a lot of stuff is happening at the same time. You just got to be ready.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't ready. First night.
So tell me, without really, really giving out, but just how did you feel when you went into the chambers of reflection?
Okay, chambers of reflection. I went in there and was like, it's time to stop reflecting. That's what happened. I was like, you know what, Brother Hawkins, I think I'm done reflecting. I think I got it. But you have to understand what that purpose serves. The chambers of reflection literally gives you time to really think about what you're about to go through. And when you're first introduced to it, it's kind of like, if you're not prepared for it, it can knock you off your rockers, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't prepared for it, and I had to be taught to understand what I was reflecting on and why. It's all about the why at the end of the day. So, yeah, when I went into the chambers of reflection, I had to understand why I was in the chambers of reflection, what purpose does it serve as a master mason and above, right? So it was really cool once I learned the purpose, and 45 minutes later, coaching, I was like, okay, cool.
Bro, do you know how long it took us?
Yeah, man. Hey.
They was like, Sir Knight Hawkins, would you please go back there and see about that young man? Because him and the Grandmaster Sutton was like, look, I'm done. This is it. If we have to do this one more time, it's a wrap. It's over. There's nothing you can say, Sir Knight Hawkins, it's a wrap. I mean, that's what he said. And I went back and I was like, dude, I just need for you to breathe. And I need for you to think. And what happens a lot of times, brothers don't think. They just don't think. They don't see the degree work for what it is and what it teaches. They don't. They just like, oh, I dub you, boom, 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 you're Knights Templar, and that's it. But you should be able to think. And this is the uniqueness of Freemasonry to me, is that it causes you to think. You're not, as a Freemason, you should not be a person who conforms to everything. Just because it's the norm doesn't mean that you should conform. And Freemasonry makes you think outside of the box. You, as a Freemason, you're not the norm. You're not. You're that person who throws what they call it in the Matrix when they have a bleep or blurb in the Matrix. You throw a hiccup. You throw the hiccup in life because you see things differently. Because You have been brought into an organization that shows you things from a different perspective. As I spoke in the last video in regards to the initiation, everything you do in life as far as dealing with structure per se is an initiation process.
That's true. Yes, absolutely.
Regardless if it's, go ahead, Brother Travis.
Yeah, even see, I grew up under Jehovah's Witnesses.
Mm-hmm.
I was, obviously getting prepared to become a Jehovah's Witness, and I just never went through with it. But even with that process, that's an initiation. You have to get baptized to become a Jehovah's Witness, just like any other religion. I just say that because you have to understand that you're going through an initiation in everything you do in life, whether it's applying for a job, you got to prepare your resume, get your skills up, what have you. That's the initiation process to get to the job that you want.
Mm-hmm.
So going through these initiations, it literally shapes your mind to understand critically about what you're doing, even in your personal life.
Okay.
So that's about it. I just wanted to piggyback off what you were saying. It was sounding great.
Oh, okay. Okay. And the reason that process is like it is because if you know anything in regards to Christ in his journey, he was initiated. So where did he go those 40 days and 40 nights? See, a lot of people who read the Bible just say, oh, he just went away for 4 days and 40 nights. But that was an initiation process because he had to be brought into the priest line of Melchizedek. He had to be brought into the priest line. And that was his way of being brought into it. He had to be tried and never denied. And people don't see that because this is how he was tried. After he had gone through those initiation rites to become the Most High, he was tested. Was he not, Travis?
Absolutely.
He was tested.
Definitely was.
He was taken to the highest peaks and the lowest valley.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is just that initiation rite. I have a book called the Mystic of Jesus Christ. In other words, the initiation of Jesus Christ. And it's a unique book. It is based upon his life, in the way he went, because in those times they were called the followers. They were not called Christians. They were called the followers. John the Baptist had his own group of disciples, and they was all part of the I want to say the Nicenes or the Nicenes fraction or group, and they all dressed a certain way. They all talked about philosophies. There was that type of group, and they didn't let everybody in. Each one had 12 disciples. Well, actually, Christ had 13. I have to come back to that later, But, but it was so. It was true, So when we began in Freemasonry to take upon this journey, I encourage everyone to go read for themselves in regards to the journey of Freemasonry. Now, different jurisdictions do things differently. I would tell you in this jurisdiction, no, we're not going to put hands on you at all. But your initiation is going to be one memorable. You ain't going to forget it. It ain't going to be something like you just going to say, well, damn, that's it. And no, that ain't it. It's a process of you getting to know your end results after everything is said and done. After everything is said and done, the end results is going to be one. Damn, is this it? Is this where I'm going to end up at?
Yep, absolutely. And when Tony was telling me, "Oh, we don't put hands and feet on people," I'm like, "Oh, this is about to be this, and this might be a cakewalk. Let's get it." See tomorrow, man. Trying on Friday. Oh man, by the time I got to Friday, I was like, man, I don't know about that shrine. I think I'm gonna wait on that.
But you know what though? you made a man's decision because most people figured, yeah, I can do this, man. I can just take on a degree. Yeah, yada, yada, yada. But once you went through your degree work, you was like, well, I got to go back and read this. And then you had multiple questions after you went back and read because you had multiple, you had a lot of information at your disposal.
Yeah.
And what you have to do as one who's gone through the initiation rites is to see it for what it is. Because different people write different things about the initiation. If you read the Scottish Rite Volume 1 and 2, it's not really, I like it, but if you take it literally for what's actually taking place in a lot of this, you may not want to be a Mason.
Yep, totally. Yeah, Scottish Rite Volume 1 and 2 will have you howling at the moon, man.
Oh my God, boy, you crazy. Oh.
Yeah, it's something to consider.
It is. And I mean, this is why I tell people all the time, the degree work of the Scottish Rite Volume 1 and 2 is I like it. It doesn't bother me because I know how to, for me, I break it down differently. I digest it differently. I see it from 2 points of views, as we have talked about the Scottish Rite Volume 1 and 2 and how it has that dark side to it. And I think that's where is this where I'm headed to? Is this is what you brothers are doing? That's what I got from you. Am I wrong?
Oh, yeah. So I was like, okay. Without saying too much, I was like, oh, okay, cool. These brothers are in cahoots with whatever, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm cool on that. Yeah, because what I had to take into consideration was Scottish Rite Volume 1 and 2 was written from a European standpoint, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Masonry is a progressive science. So it's all about how you interpret. Well, I'll say this. Scottish Rite is more philosophical.
Right.
It's all about how you interpret what it is that you're doing. And stuff, so if you're not, I will say this for the lives, if you're not strong-hearted and you don't, follow your God and fear no evil.
That sounds like something Imperial Pote would say. Follow your God and fear no evil.
I would not recommend doing the Scottish Rite. Seriously. And I'm not trying to scare anybody, but if you're a little shaky and just don't do it. Take your time. And when you are ready, follow your God and fear no evil. And this took me, I learned that in San Diego, and I've been saying that for years. So that's that.
But that was a driving force, though. I mean, because Brother Will B. Smith, that was his thing. He would tell you he got something different out of the initiation versus what you may get. Because I know you had asked him, of course, you said, well, what did I just do?
Yeah, he told me, y'all.
And then when he told you, you was like, no, man, no. He's like, yeah. But that was for him. It wasn't for you, though.
Right. And that's what I had to understand. I was like, okay, what did he just say? He said X, Y, and Z. Okay, that's how he interprets that. How I interpret it is A, B, and C. And that's cool. I mean, that's cool. We were two different people. And, Potentate's my man. That's my guy, for sure. So the point that I'm making is it's all about, the Scottish Rite is philosophical. It's all about interpretation and how you interpret and use what you learn or not.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that.
So tell me this here. When you was going through your Scottish Rite degrees, as far as that journey was concerned, from the encampments, and you was handed those scales, what did you think?
I ain't know what to think. To be honest with you, man, these scales was heavy. And then it dawned on me, I was like, damn, I just walked 3 miles away. I woke up the next morning, I was sore. So, a lot of walking.
Correct.
The scales are heavy after a while. 3 miles of scales, man. Yeah, I'm good on that.
Well, I mean, but when you go back and review what took place versus what is in your rituals versus, what other people may have journeyed through. I mean, your own personal experience is that's what's going to take you through masonry. I had a brother I was talking to from Vegas the other day, and when we did his initiation, when we was in Vegas about last month, as a matter of fact, when we was in Vegas, the first thing he told me after he had spoken with his relatives from various jurisdictions, and they said, "Oh, so you're a Mason?" He said, "Yeah." So they asked him, "How was the initiation?" And when he went to explain to him exactly what took place for him, they was like, "Oh, you're a real Mason."
Yeah, those brothers. Hey, shout out to the brothers who just got raised out in Vegas. Yeah, y'all the real ones for that. And if you know, you know. Okay. Yeah, it's different over here, man.
And he got a kick out of it. When I just sent him his Masonic passport. He's like, "Brother Hawkins, you have no idea of when I talk to people and they see me with my Masonic ring on, and we have a conversation and we talk about our experiences. They're totally, their experience versus my experience is different." And he says because of where it took place in the process. He was like, "Man, they all say big ups to you. That was theirs was nothing like that."
Yeah, it's low-key genius how you guys did that initiation. I was like, wow, what? Y'all did what? Over where? Yeah, that was genius. And that's the thing. I'm trying to make a point. It is totally different in the jurisdiction. I mean, those brothers in Vegas will never forget that raised. I swear they won't.
Let's see. I think. Brother Smith said, "Ride that goat."
Yeah, at least.
Oh yeah, but as a matter of fact, I think I'm going to probably have one of them to come on to the show, probably next week. I'm gonna call it the initiation in the desert and see what see if I can bring one of them on, because what it is that I think each experience as you go through masonry should be one that you don't forget, and understand that this process right here is one that only a few get to really enjoy, because a lot of people come to Freemasonry and they don't get that. I don't know. I mean, to me, this seems as if they are missing something. It's not really explained to them what each degree means. And I think that should be explained a lot of times to each individual who goes through the degree work. You should be able to explain it. This is why after our degree work, what we wanted to do was to fellowship and explain to you exactly what took place, because I think after that took place, it calmed you down a lot. That's my opinion.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, going through those initiations and those degrees, what have you, you got some kind brothers with some refreshment afterwards, and it does ease your mind a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And the most important thing that, for me at least, was each brother was literally super knowledgeable about what took place and why and how. Like, it wasn't Eminent Commander was just saying everything. Super shout out to him. Super knowledgeable guy. Everybody was on the same page. It wasn't like, oh, well, this guy knows everything, or this guy. No, everybody knew everything. And that's really cool, because, to be real, when I went through the Lodge of Perfection, I had a hiccup because I was taught wrong back in my previous jurisdiction. So and those brothers were willing to help me, understand how to do certain things the right way versus what I was taught the wrong way, knowingly or unknowingly, in my past jurisdiction. So
I'm going to say this, because for me, I'm not going to say you was taught wrongly. You just wasn't taught what we're teaching here, because they taught you what they knew. You know what I mean? A person can only teach you what they know. So I won't say, and I don't know everyone from your jurisdiction. I had a chance to talk with your past deputy grandmaster on the phone, and we chit chatted. So I would say that that is something that they don't do, they didn't know, or whatever the situation may be at the time. But what we try to provide to you is a course of initiation that when you go back and read it, you can say, okay, this took place. I got that. Yeah, this happened. Okay. Yeah, that definitely happened. I got this part. Now I have to read blah blah blah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. And man, yeah. So it just, I keep stressing this because it's so mind blowing to me how different jurisdictions do different things, and how you can learn so much in so little time. And brothers still call me to this day. I talk to potentate, literally the imperial potentate, literally every other day, and he's asking me questions and asking me how I feel and blah 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 and explaining stuff. So even after the initiation, brothers would contact you and see how you're doing and see how you're taking information and if you have any questions with stuff. I mean, hell, we even had a whole Zoom meeting going on, and everybody was willing to discuss their opinions as scholars, right?
Okay.
And that was really cool. So the support is just awesome, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to join this jurisdiction, because the brotherhood and the fellowship is just totally different than what I was previously a part of. We out here selling dinner plates and stuff, and that's cool and all, but it's just different. And quite frankly, I prefer that this type of brotherhood, because it's real. These guys are actually real Masons. They're not, oh, you got your paperwork, sir? Bro, this isn't the 1930s, man. We're not, no shade to anybody, but we're trying to progress this science, and that's, but if you're having those conversations, you probably are not learning. So over here, we're learning and getting better as men and Masons and becoming pillars in our community. And that's just what it is. My quote for 2020, I told at least 10 people this today. People always ask me questions. My quote for 2020 is, it is what it is. So it is what it is, man. Like, we're over here getting better, so, and learning the craft and, being real brothers and real Masons.
I mean, okay, so my question to you is that I know I had said this before, and I continue to say it because, like I told you, I got you, here in San Diego. You about maybe 1,700 miles away from your new home in Washington State.
Yeah.
And I told you, I said, look, whatever I tell you, I'm gonna do it. It's going to be true. I mean, I don't want to bring you or into the jurisdiction and you look around and say, what you told? No. I want this to be what it is to you. I want you to enjoy the fellowship. Like Friday night. Although we didn't go to the other degree work, but on Friday night, the brothers from Vegas, I think they came and swooped you up.
Oh yeah, they was ready. Everybody was prepared to do the shrine. I was not ready for the shrine. I had to digest some things, and I just want to take my time. I told the person over the phone, I was like, look, I really want to dissect these degrees and study it and learn before I start doing anything else. So yeah, what was that, Saturday or Friday? Friday.
That was Friday. That was Friday night. How was the fellowship Friday night?
It was cool, man. People on the grill and stuff. I mean, it was awesome. It was
Okay.
awesome. A lot of knowledge being thrown out there, and again, me learning things and just in awe of how, you, Sutton, and Grandmaster was showing me different things. cool. It was laid back. Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
So did you? How was your conversation with Brother Nico? He's the inner apprentice.
Gotcha. Yeah, he's ready. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah.
So what do you think about the esoteric side of Freemasonry?
Again, if you're gonna go into the esoteric side of Masonry, and I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. You have to. It's all spiritual. That's what I'm saying. It's all spiritual. Yeah, it's just all spiritual. So what I mean by that is you can't put yourself in a box, if you catch my drift, to understand. You're not going to fully understand the esoteric side of things if you put yourself in a box. Okay? You just won't, because if you try to break down the esoteric side of things and you try to refer to your box that you've been given as a child because they told you to, you're going to be quite, things are not going to make sense. It's not going to make sense. You're going to be even more confused, and it's just not going to make sense. And then you're going to go down the rabbit hole, and then you might go crazy.
Bruh.
Grand Master says all the time, he and you guys are responsible for the information that you guys give, because the information can literally make somebody crazy. And I'm not just saying that lightly. Like, if you are in that box and you try to understand esoteric Masonry, it's not going to make sense. Period.
It will make you lose your religion.
I didn't want to say that. That's what I wanted to say about the I was going to get in trouble, so I didn't say that.
No, bruh. It's true. I mean, once you
drop your religion if you go esoteric, and it's that simple.
You're gonna lose it. You're not gonna come out the same. Is I would say that this is why Brother Will B. Smith, my Imperial Poet, always say, follow your God, keep close to him, keep close, because you're gonna question everything. It's not going to be the same anymore. You're not going to be like, you're going to question everything once the information is given to you and you begin to read it for yourself, and then you do your own research upon that which has been given to you. You're going to question everything.
It's just not going to make sense anymore. You're going to be asking yourself questions. Literally before this call, I was doing my research, and you're going to start asking questions that you're not supposed to be asking inside the box, such as, God put the tree of life in the Garden of Eden, and he knows all things. So why would he put a tree in the garden if he knows that Adam and Eve are going to eat from it? Those are the questions that you're going to start asking, and it just doesn't make sense.
In other words, you're going to begin to question God.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't make sense.
Because we've been told all our lives, you don't question God. It happens. You don't question God. But what happens is, we're supposed to be free thinkers. We're supposed to be able to make our own choices, right?
Right.
So you question, why would God, this supreme being, make an alternate ego, per se? Why would he? And then his alternate ego, his opposite, journeys between the celestial bodies and earth. And they have a conversation. Have you seen my man Job? Yeah, I seen Job, but you got your hedges around him. I can't mess with Job, man. That's your boy. I tell you what. Now, mind you, they're having this conversation. I tell you what, look, yeah, you can go touch Job, but I tell you what, don't kill him, but you can mess with him. What? You I can go mess with Job now. Oh yeah,
Job
man.
had no idea what was happening. That's the key to the story. He had no idea that these conversations were taking place until after decisions were made. And then shit started happening to Job. That's the key.
That is the key. So now, in the process of these various initiations that one go through in Freemasonry, it should make you question. It should make you go seek for that which is lost. It should. That's your journey. And that journey doesn't end until you close your eyes and the breath of life, the ruah, leaves you. And it goes on. It doesn't stop traveling. It doesn't stop moving. Most of us think that when you close these eyes, it's a wrap. For this body, it's a wrap. It is truly, it's a done thing. But for the ruah, for the breath of life, it moves on. Because this body is energy. This shell you see is not what resides in this body. Just like driving a car. See, you get in the car, but the car isn't driving itself. Pressing on the gas, brake, reverse, avoiding accidents. That's you. That's the ruah in you. That is the G in you that avoids things in life. When you, man, I heard a little voice said, don't do it. Man, I heard a little voice said, hey, it's going to be okay. That's that G in you. And it is a, I would say here, it is that energy that resides in you.
Mm-hmm. And the thing with that is, once you're in your box, they don't want you to know that you have that energy. That's the key. You know? They don't want you, once you start unpacking things and understanding who you are, especially as a black person,
Mm-hmm.
things would just make sense. It would just literally start making sense, and your box won't make sense. It just won't make sense. And I'm not trying to, like, you know, don't believe what I'm saying. Don't believe what Tony is saying. You have to go out there and do your own research with a free mind, right? But yeah, with the esoteric side of things, it's all spiritual, man, and you're literally going to drop your religion. It's just that's just how it is, because once you start putting the pieces together and realize how, you know, that box is meant to screw our people, control people, then you will realize who you are for real in this journey. And then that's the difference. That's the difference. You won't get as mad when somebody calls you out your name when you're at the grocery store, or people look at you funny because of who you are as a person, because you will know the truth. You will know who you are. So it puts you on a higher plane mentally, because you know the truth and you know who you are, and you know what's really going on out here. Yeah, you know, when things happen to me nowadays, I'm like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. You know, because I know who I am.
But see,
you get that in your box.
But see, that's the thing. Once you crawl out of the box, you have to be responsible for going and getting somebody else. The process is the person that you grab up out the box, are they ready? And this is the beauty to me in regards to Freemasonry. When a person knocks, and that's the thing people got to realize. When you want things in life, you can manifest those things, but people don't believe it.
Yeah, like people, you know what, Tony, I disagree with you a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
People believe it. Oh, law of attraction, you got to manifest things. Well, like people say it all the time.
Uh-huh.
Don't know what they're saying and what it actually means. You're literally saying, I have the power to create anything I want in my world. That's what you're saying when you say, oh, affirmation, law of attraction, blah, blah. So people are saying these things all the time and don't realize what it actually means. That's the truth. The truth is, yeah, you can manifest anything you want in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
It all starts in the mind first.
But the thing is how many people actually take that energy and use it. If you believe that you can manifest these things, if you believe that you are who you claim to be, why is it that most people don't use it? I mean, literally use it.
The box says, come to me for these things. That's why.
But see, here's what you find in the box. I'm going to take me, for instance. Oh, before I do that, I want to send a big shout out to Brother Vincent Gilmore. What's up, man? I got a lot to say about that brother right there, Brother Vincent. Man, look, when I get ready to go and to do, Brother Vincent, I want to say thank you. That's all I'm going to say. Brother Travis, did you like where you was at?
Absolutely. Likewise, Brother Vincent, thank you.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. So, did you like it, bro?
Yeah, it was cool.
It was cool? All right, dude. All right. So, my thing would be this. When we talk about coming out of the box and manifesting and doing those things, most people don't they don't put it in, to me, they don't put it into action. Like, say for instance, it says knock and the door should be open unto you. Okay, seek and you will find. Ask and you shall receive. Now, when I say that, most people say, well, man, I sure want that job. But you ain't demanding the job. There's a universal order to everything. There's order. The process is you don't follow the order. And even as I begin to mature, even as I continue to grow, there is order in everything. And there's some chaos too. Out of chaos comes order. And I understand that because even when I'm at the hospital and they call a code, I think I'm losing you, bro. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I got some static in that thing. But even as I work into the medical field and they call a code, that is one of the most chaotic things that you can be a part of. Because everybody's screaming something. But everybody has a part to play. And in the end, you save someone's life.
Right.
Okay? So just as it is in Freemasonry, there is chaos taking place. Let's just be honest about it. But in the end, when you see the end goal, the end results, this is where the end, this is what it's going to look like in the end. You can say, okay, all right, I'm on this road right here. This is that journey, But how many people are willing to take that journey? That is the big question. I love people say, yeah, yada, yada, yada. How many people really want to take that journey?
Yeah, and people want to take that journey, and my suggestion is this: think critically about what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
When you want to go up these staircases, and that's that. Just a quick tidbit. My grandfather was everything. 33rd night in the shrine. I joined Masonry because my dad also was, or is, a Mason in the high ranks. I was like, okay, cool, but I always wanted to become a Shriner, period. So when I had the opportunity to become a Shriner a couple of weeks ago, going up those other staircases, it made me slow down and realize, hey, slow down and digest what took place. Because, yeah, you want this the most out of everything, but why, and do you understand what you already did previously? So, yeah, that's my advice. It's kind of like just take your time because this is not a rush. Don't feel like you have to, I guess what I'm trying to say is don't be a big degree seeker because you gotta really just understand what you're going through and what you're doing and why you're doing it. That's the most important part is the why.
And what you just said is don't be a degree seeker. That's very important because some people, the quicker they get the degrees, they feel a certain way. And that shouldn't be. You should actually take your time, get the degrees, understanding the points in the degrees, understand the workings of the degrees, the signs of the degrees, getting all of that. And once you get that, then it gives you a better understanding of what just took place. And when you got that, then you're like, wow, you know?
Right, absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, come on, man. I mean, you was there.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I'm agreeing with y'all that, wow, I'm not going to lie. When I got my 30, and I know I'm about to contradict myself, but when I got my 32nd degree, my ego was definitely boosted for a while, and it probably still is. I was like, wow, imperial power, huh? I like that. Imperial power. I like that a lot. Okay, I can rock with that.
You can rock with that?
Yeah, I can rock with that. I was like, okay. The ring looks nice and everything. I was like, ooh. Anyway, so.
Wait. I want to go back to this. The regalia that you received in the end after everything was done, your package, what do you think about your package?
Oh, man. Yeah, that was beautiful. My entire regalia is nothing I ever seen on anybody else besides in this jurisdiction, and it's awesome, man. Really appreciate that from the kindness of my heart. That was really cool. Yeah, the package was awesome. You know, I got all my certificates, birth certificates, and that obviously my crown and my other regalia, what have you. But the coolest part was the ring, man. The ring was literally a Super Bowl ring. You completed your journey as a Mason that you think.
He said a ring is a Super Bowl ring.
Here's a Super Bowl ring for making it through. Come back, get your shrine when you're ready to get, complete everything. Yeah, the Super Bowl ring was awesome. It was kind of heavy, it was gold, and it was really cool, man. So the package was awesome, man, and the banquet was even better. Showing recognition for all the 33rds. Shout out to all the 33rds. We just got theirs a couple weeks ago. Y'all the real ones.
You say y'all the real one. Oh, trust me, bro. They the real ones.
Yeah,
as a matter of fact, I gotta have brother Imperial Potentate on here to probably break that down. I gotta have him on here to definitely take a look at that and actually go from there.
Yeah, Potentate crazy as hell.
Is he?
We all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I have to stop that, man. Anyway, okay. So, yeah, the package was cool, man. The banquet was awesome. That was actually my favorite day was Saturday, was the banquet and, taking pictures and fellowshipping. And, man, shout out to the stars over here, too, man. I never met stars, Eastern stars, who are really about their business. It was really cool. All new to me. So, shout out to them as well. It was a really good time, and the package was phenomenal. Seriously.
So what did you think about the 3x3 under the living ark?
Man, what do you mean? What I think about it?
I mean, what did you think about it when you saw it?
I never saw it in person. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Him and the commander Sutton. Man, you supposed to be showing me this other. I got you next time, big dog. Let me see what you're doing. Oh, man. Yeah, that was real. That was cool, man. I'd never seen anybody actually do that in person.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And then you guys actually formed that living art was iconic. It was really cool. Like, everything about it was cool. And, yeah, that's what I thought about it, man. I was like, wow, this is different. I'd never seen this. And you guys just did it off a whim on Saturday? Just no books, no anything. Just did it. Boom, boom, boom. No hiccup. What? Yeah, that was cool.
Well, the process is that what we try to do and what we want members to understand is that when you are here, we want to teach you. We want to teach you. It's not like you want to say, well, damn, I ain't getting nothing. No. We want to give it to you because I'm not going to always be where I'm at. One day I'm going to leave. And what did I do while I was here? Look, the most important things in life are given to you freely.
Yeah, absolutely.
The most important things that you would ever receive in life are given to you freely. Time being the number one thing. Mother and father follows that. Those are free things. What we do with them at time, we toss it to the curb because I think my house is more important than time. I think that me hanging out, throwing them back, that's more important. Yeah, but you spending your wealth, but your time in the love that someone may share with you or give to you are more important than that. But we dismiss that like it's second nature. And those things are the most important things that you can ever receive in life. And they're free.
No, I never thought about it like that.
Oh yeah. See, the thing is that if you take 100 men, all start off the same, only 5 of them are going to become wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Only 5. All right? Now,
Right.
I take that back. When I say wealthy, that means that after their retirement in life, they're going to be okay. Then you have 3. You have 3 that's going to become rich. And then you're going to have 1 that's going to supersede the others. What happens to the others, the other 90 something? What happens to them? Why is it that they couldn't achieve the same thing that the others achieved? Now they managed, I'm just saying, all start off equally. And this is what happens in life. Go ahead. What you was gonna say?
No, like okay, I understand that, but some people, correct me if I'm wrong or if you disagree, but I feel like the path to prosperity for others, for some, is a little bit easier, so.
No, hear what I said. I said they all start off equally in this scenario. But you are right when you say some of the paths are different. You take a person whose their dad or their family leaves them $1 million. They know they don't know what it's like to earn it. So they just misuse it because they know nothing about it. But one who's earned it understands it, and hopefully he'll be able or she will be able to pass it down and say, look, if you want this, I'll leave it for you, but you got to earn it. Once you earn something, you see it totally different than someone who just handed it to you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So.
And I would say that just like your past week, I would say you earned that right, those degrees, even though you question everything, even though you was kind of like, I don't know if I want to take that step or not. But in the process, you can actually say, well, damn it, I questioned everything. I damn near gave up, but I earned it.
Oh, yeah, that knife is nothing to play with.
And that's how it is in life. You have to take and apply it to get what you want to get out of it. Like I often say, if my fists are balled up, I can't receive anything. If someone wanted to show me a direction, how can you show me if I got my hands balled up? I can't reach out to you. I can't do that. So we've been on here about 60 minutes. I just want to give everybody a big shout out and say thank you for coming on, tuning in to us, and definitely having this conversation and fellowship. I'm just going to go back through some of the questions. Oh, Brother Terrell said this. He said, that's why some jurisdictions ask you, have you ever had any mental disabilities because they can't handle the spiritual side of it?
Yeah, I can see that.
You can see that?
I can definitely see that. Oh,
Let me see. Wasn't for you, is for you. No need to rush. Absolutely. Brother Gilmore said, what's for you is for you. There's no need to rush. Absolutely. I can see that.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt about it. First of all, I want to say greetings to everybody who's come on. Big shout out to my brother just came. I just seen he's from Prince Hall out of South Carolina. Big shout out to you. Appreciate you. And we have to realize, I'm going to flip this just a little bit. We have to stop, in my own opinion, dismissing each other. And when I say dismissing each other, it's simply to say, although we may not be of the same jurisdiction, trust me, we are in the same fight.
Yep.
Call it what you want to call it. See it how you want to see it. We may not be in the same jurisdiction, but we in the same fight.
Well, we all black. I'm going to say it for you.
You know, and when we begin to see it that way, we're going to be a much better off organization and people. And before I get ready to go, I'm going to say this. I just got through watching a video with Omega Psi Phi, the Kappas, the Iotas, is it Iota?
Yoda?
Yes, along with the Alphas. They did a video together, very professionally. They was on Zoom together, and they talked about their unification with each other. Although they may be of different Greeks, they said, but all Greeks should be in this fight together.
Yep.
So it gave me, it showed me that although we may not be of the same as far as organization, we're all Greeks. In the process is we in the same fight. And I posted that in my community page on John G. Jones Research Lodge 157. It's posted there. Go check it out and see it for yourself. It's there in the process. Check it out. See what they have to say. See what they're doing differently than Freemasonry as far as bettering not only themselves, but the whole entire Greek family. I mean, and I'm going to say this even for myself. I'm a member of Beta Psi Phi. We're more so on the East Coast than any place else. You're not going to find us. There's a few of us on the West Coast, not many. The process is that when I'm around the Greeks here, when I go to the Pan-Atlantic barbecue that they have here, man, it's all family. It's not like, oh, I can't talk to you. You're not Omega. You're not Kappa. You're not Sigma. You're not the Alphas. You're not. It's not even none of that. Everybody's showing their colors and showing love.
You graduate, none of that matters. I swear. Like, all that, being at Gremlin and being D9, you know, we didn't really beef with each other like that at all. Well, sometimes, I ain't gonna lie to you.
Well, but that's the camaraderie. I mean, I know we're kind of getting off the subject a little bit, but when I pledged, when another pledgee line came by, we had to look at each other. We had to get an eye, and then you had a Greek show right there on the spot. You had to step right then. It wasn't like, I'm not going to step. We're gonna have this thing right here.
Exactly, and that's the beautiful part. Hey man, to all the people who, hey man, go to your black colleges, man. Go to your HBCUs, man, because going Greek at an HBCU is just a different experience. And I know we're off topic, but I think the point that we're making here is, you know, the D9 unity, all Greeks alike. We are here to serve the community, the black community, together, right? We're D9. We're literally supposed to recruit and incorporate good people into our fraternities and sororities to help our people in the community. That is the whole purpose of the Pan-Hellenic Council. So anybody out there trying to go to college, I highly recommend going to HBCU first. And if you go to grad school, obviously, you know, look into other avenues. But yeah, that's the point that we're making, man. It's kind of like, why can't Black Masons do the same? You know, why can't we come together and be unified under one umbrella to be a force like the D9 that Tony is referring to on his community group? You know.
Well, I think what happens is that, of course, like with anything else, egos gets in the way.
Yep.
And that's cool. At some point in life, you got to have an ego if you're going to succeed. You're going to have to be cocky a little bit, but there comes a time when you're going to have to be humble and say, for the betterment of everybody, this is what we have to do. And I believe for Freemasonry, the betterment for everybody is to reach across the line of and say, look, bruh, regardless, here it is right here. Let us do this. And when we're able to comprehend the small stuff, everything else is going to come to you. It's going to be like, wow, okay. If we could have done this a long time ago, we wouldn't be where we're at now.
Exactly.
Wouldn't be there. So with that being said, I want to say thank you for coming on, sharing your experience, and definitely letting people know that, hey, you know what? It's interesting. Oh, Will B. Smith said, I love my potentate.
Yeah, potentate is the truth, man. Shout out to Will, bro. Yeah.
I love my potentate too. Ego is, you know what? Speaking of egos, I'm going to see if I can reconnect. There you go, and reconnect it. But go ahead and go, man. I appreciate you coming on, and definitely whatever you do, always keep your light on. Stay out the bushes, and remember, the higher you climb, the clearer the vision. That's real.
That's real.
I'm out. Peace and be well.